Flannan Isles Lighthouse. The keepers who vanished without a trace. Flannan, Scotland, December 1900. Every lighthouse tells two stories. The first is one of guidance. A steady light shining through darkness. A promise that even in the fiercest storm, someone is watching. The second story is quieter. It belongs to the keepers. The men who lived in isolation. Far from families, far from towns. Surrounded by nothing but sea, wind, and stone. Most returned home after their shifts ended. 3 men did not. Their disappearance became one of Europe's greatest unsolved maritime mysteries. And more than a century later, no one knows exactly what happened on the lonely island of Flannan. Far to the west of mainland Scotland lies a small chain of rocky islands known as the Flannan Isles. The Atlantic Ocean surrounds them on every side. The weather changes quickly. Calm seas can become violent within hours. Massive waves crash against cliffs. Strong winds sweep across the narrow landscape. It is a beautiful place, but also an unforgiving one. In the late 19th century, a lighthouse was built on the largest island. Flannan. Its purpose was simple. Protect passing ships. Warn sailors of dangerous rocks hidden beneath the sea. To keep the light operating, lighthouse keepers lived on the island 4 weeks at a time. Life followed a strict routine. Cleaning lenses, maintaining machinery, recording weather. Watching the sea, day after day. Night after night. In December of 1900, 3 keepers were assigned to the lighthouse. Their names were James Duckett, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur. Each was experienced. Each understood the demands of isolated life. Nothing suggested that this assignment would become historic. As December progressed, ships passing near the islands noticed something unusual. The lighthouse appeared dark. Normally its beams swept steadily across the sea. Now there was only darkness. At first, poor weather prevented immediate investigation. Storms delayed supply vessels. Days passed. No one on the mainland knew that something had gone terribly wrong. Finally, on December 26th, the relief ship Hesperus reached the island. One of the replacement keepers, Joseph Moore, prepared to go ashore. Even before stepping onto the island, he sensed that something felt different. No one waited at the landing place. No welcoming signal appeared. The usual routine had been broken. The climb toward the lighthouse was silent. No voices. No footsteps, only the wind moving across the cliffs. When Moore reached the lighthouse buildings, he found the entrance closed. Inside, everything appeared strangely orderly. Beds had been slept in. The kitchen showed signs of recent use. A meal had not been left on the table, as some later retellings claimed, but the living quarters suggested the men had expected to continue their ordinary duties. One chair was reportedly out of place, nothing more. Nothing dramatic. Yet something was undeniably wrong. The 3 keepers were gone. A careful search began immediately. The lighthouse itself offered no answers. No sign of struggle. No obvious explanation. Outside, investigators examined the western landing area. There they discovered evidence of severe storm damage. Equipment had been displaced. A storage box had been torn from its mountings. Ropes were scattered. The power of the sea had clearly been immense. The lighthouse log attracted particular attention. It contained weather observations and notes from previous days. Some entries described rough conditions, others mentioned strong winds. These records later became the subject of considerable speculation. Over the decades, many dramatic claims about the log appeared in books and documentaries. Some quoted emotional statements or mysterious comments that are not supported by surviving historical evidence. The authentic records are much less sensational. Yet even without embellishment, the disappearance remained extraordinary. Investigators considered the most likely explanation. Perhaps one keeper had gone outside to secure equipment during dangerous weather. A second man may have followed to help. The third, seeing trouble, might also have rushed outside. A sudden wave could then have swept all three into the sea. The Atlantic is capable of tremendous force. Such an accident, though tragic, was certainly possible. Yet questions remained. Why would all three leave the lighthouse at once? Standard procedures generally required at least one keeper to remain inside. The mystery deepened. Other theories soon emerged. Some suggested one man fell and the others attempted a rescue. Others imagined an unexpected rogue wave striking the cliffs. Still others ventured into folklore. The Flannan Isles had long been associated with old legends. Stories of spirits. Ancient saints, mysterious presences. Such tales encouraged supernatural interpretations, though no historical evidence supports them. Still, the island's isolation made imagination difficult to resist. Years became decades. The lighthouse continued operating with new keepers. The light once again guided ships safely through darkness. Yet the story of the missing men never disappeared. Books were written, documentaries revisited the case. Poets and novelists found inspiration in the unanswered questions. The disappearance became part of Scottish maritime history, not because of certainty, but because of uncertainty. Imagine standing alone beside the lighthouse on a winter evening. The year is 1900. The Atlantic stretches endlessly in every direction. The sky is gray. The wind whistles across the rocks. Below, waves strike the cliffs with thunderous force. You look toward the horizon. There is nothing, only sea, only sky. Only solitude. The lighthouse lamp turns slowly above you. Its beam sweeps across the darkness. Again and again. Then silence returns. You walk toward the western cliffs. The rocks are slick with salt spray. The ocean crashes below. You pause. Listen carefully. The wind seems to carry distant voices. Perhaps they are only echoes, perhaps only seabirds. Or perhaps it is the imagination responding to a place where history left questions unanswered. What happened to James Duckett, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur? Were they claimed by an unexpected wave? Did a desperate rescue attempt end in tragedy? Or did circumstances unfold in a way that can never now be reconstructed? No investigation has provided complete certainty. The sea keeps many secrets. This may be one of them. The lighthouse still stands on Flannan. Its light no longer requires resident keepers. Automation has replaced the lonely routines of the past. The island remains windswept. Remote. Beautiful, the Atlantic still pounds against its cliffs. Ships still pass in the distance. And travelers still remember the three men who vanished without a trace. As our journey through these 20 true mysteries comes to an end, one thought quietly remains. Not every story receives an ending. Some end with silence, some end with questions. And some, like the light from a distant lighthouse, continue shining long after the people who tended them are gone. Tonight, somewhere beyond the edge of the sea, beyond the reach of memory. The wind still moves across the rocks of the Flannan Isles. The lighthouse still watches. The waves still rise and fall. And the greatest mystery of all remains exactly where it has always been, waiting in the darkness, waiting in the silence, waiting for an answer that may never come.